I'm Amanda Essery, owner and founder of Buttocks. As a certified infant massage instructor, we're going to talk about proper baby massage techniques and benefits that the whole family unit can use. There's many benefits for baby massaging. Some of these include reduced crying, better quality of sleep, it relaxes skeletal muscles, helps bonding with your child between parent and baby. It also reduces the symptoms of eczema. So there's many benefits with loads. So these are some of the main benefits for baby massage. What do we do before preparing for a massage? Before we prepare for a massage, the parent needs to be quite relaxed. These can be things like taking a really nice herbal cup of tea to relax themselves. Mother takes 5 breaths in, 5 breaths out, and just make sure that they're really cool and collected. It could be music or nice ambience and candles in the room just to relax, because if mother is not calm, the baby will not be calm. So babies need to be really relaxed. Babies tend to know, or do know, when the mother's stressed. So best that you prepare yourself. Some of the things that we need to be aware of is that your nails. Babies don't like to be scratched or be dug into their flesh or around their the tender, sensitive skin. So make sure that you've got like short nails, or if you do have nails, just use the palms, just the tips of your fingers. So just be wary of that. Other things to notice is jewellery. We don't want jewellery to be clinging onto or hurting their skin. So take off your jewellery, your bangles, your rings, etc. that could be harmful to child when you're massaging them. One of the main things that we also reiterate is the massage oil. Massage oil that you get in shops these days tend to be petrochemical based. The cheaper ones that you buy from the shops that have paraffin, mineral oil, we don't advocate for this because these are chemicals that have been used like from crude oil and actually does not penetrate the baby's skin. It sits as a greasy film on top of your baby and actually is like wrapping your baby in plastic. We always advocate to use a plant-based oil that are from seeds, nuts, fruits and vegetables, and the most important thing is that it's cold pressed. Why cold pressed? Cold pressed means that's not heat extracted, so it's literally pressed from the nut, plant or the vegetable. So for example, Lovekins, we use coconut oil, sunflower oil, sweet almond oil, with a touch of lavender and geranium. It really soothes the baby and is very benefit before bath or after massage, and parents can use it as well. Not all vegetable-based or plant-based oils are alike. So for example, olive oil. Olive oil is very thick consistency and it's not good for massage your baby, so we don't advocate for olive oil as well. So these are some of the precautions that you need to think of. The other thing is that when you're massaging baby is always on the floor, never on the bed, because between age of 0 and 5 months, babies have a crawling reflex or rolling reflex, so it can be quite dangerous. As soon as you go and grab your oil or you move away from the bed, baby can roll off. So always on the ground on a mat so baby's comfortable. Mother can be kneeling or can be sitting on the side or cross-legged, whatever you feel comfortable. So that's some of the precautions. Now, before you massage a baby, you need to ask for permission, and this is called the permission sequence. There are 2 things. Does your baby want to be touched, appropriate touch, and also when is a good time? So babies have a learned response. Because they don't know how to speak, familiarization between 2 to 8 weeks are the cues. So we start by rubbing your hands over baby, like this, and we go, would you like a massage now? And when you do this over a period of 2 to 8 weeks, baby starts to get familiarized as to the cues, so they will know. What cues are we looking for? When baby is looking into your eyes, or he or she is smiling, but if baby is not happy, like fidgeting or turning back and forth the head and looking away, closing the eyes, or start crying, then we stop. It's not a good time to massage. But if baby's happy and is engaging mummy or daddy, that, bringing your hands up and says then they're ready for a massage. So we're starting with the legs and feet. Make sure that your baby's in contact. And get some oil. Disperse that over your baby's legs, all around the feet. We're starting with a C cup Indian. So with your hands, you should resonate a C, and we're starting from the base of the thigh to the ankle. Nice firm strokes. So why do we start with feet? We use feet because it's the least intrusive over the body. And this is an Indian stroke that is away from the heart. It's the least stimulating. So once you get to the top, you start and trace over with the next hand. Nice firm strokes. Once we've done that, we're doing rolling. So from the base of the hip, thigh, up to the ankles. Make sure that you're supporting your baby's foot, because otherwise it will just flop. So from the bottom, rolling up, like this. Next, we're doing circles. So supporting your baby's leg, we're doing nice circles around the fleshy area. So the most meaty section, like on the thighs, backs of the legs, but avoiding the shin bone and the knee bone, because that can be quite uncomfortable if you go over the bony area. With 2 hands, 2 fingers. Next, we're doing ankle circles, so supporting your baby's leg. We're doing nice big circles around the ankle. Next, we're doing tracing over the toes. So with your finger, just do lines from the top of your the baby's feet right down each toes. And then we're going to do tweaks. Same movement, but we're actually putting a little bit of pressure, tweaking toes. Babies really love this. If you find that your baby is starting to curl with the plantar reflex, it's always good to use the edge of your palm and you put it on the line just at the base of the toes, and that will stop them from curling their feet, because it happens a lot in babies when they're young. Or you can use your finger and put it where the middle toe is, just at the base of that, and put a bit of pressure there, and they usually release that. So if you find that during the session with your legs and your feet that happens, that's what you can do to help release the plantar reflex. Next, we're doing from the thumb, from the base of the heel, right up to the top, just one movement like that. And with your index finger, we're doing 2 scoops from the middle of your feet, right down, 1, 2. And then we're doing walking. So supporting your baby's feet, and we're doing walking. Good pressure, because if you do it too lightly, it'll be tickling. Or you can call it texting in this modern world where you're texting your phone. And then rubbing baby's feet, just because it's been, it can be sometimes get cold, so you're warming baby. And then we finish the leg with the Swedish massage, going back down towards the heart, which is better circulation and it's a little bit more stimulating. And we go 1, 2, 3. So that was from the base of the ankle back to the top of your baby's thigh. So once you finish that, you repeat exactly the same on the other side of the leg. So now that we're starting with the buttocks demonstration, so with your hands and supporting your baby's hip, we're doing movements on the bottom. So you can't see from here, but if you lift the baby, you're doing movements inwards where the bottom is. Never outwards, because you don't want your baby, you don't want the bottom cheeks to be separated. That would be uncomfortable, so it's always inwards in this direction. So it's really comfortable for baby. It releases a lot of, stress points when they're rolling and when they're lying on the ground. So it's really nice pressure points for the baby. So now we're doing an incorporation stroke. Why do we do an incorporation stroke? It's because your baby needs to understand that their body is all connected together. And this really helps assuring your baby that I've got my arms, my legs, everything is together, and that really makes it comforting for them. So once we finish that technique, we'll go like this. With your hands, just going right down to your baby's legs, just like this. Only once is enough. So we are starting the abdominal demonstration. To do the abdominal section, you have to find the baby's invisible line. How do we do this? Your baby's ribs are located on the side and slightly towards the back. So feeling your baby's ribs, we're looking for the last rib on the backs of your baby. Once you've found that, there's a little section just underneath, right there. It's a little fleshy area, and we draw an invisible line to the front. Now this is not always the belly button. People always misunderstand that the midsection of the belly button is my invisible line, because every baby is different. Their ribs may be higher or lower, so you really need to make sure that you find the last rib, and just underneath you draw an invisible line, and that's what you'll be working on. So once you've found that invisible line, you never work above this area, because that's your baby's diaphragm. If you start putting pressure on your baby's diaphragm, it makes it very uncomfortable when they're breathing in and out. So from your invisible line, we're using scoops with your arms out like this, elbows sticking out. We're doing scoops. So palms flat, and we're scooping from the midline down. Abdominal is really good for helping indigestion, wind, colic, constipation, and sometimes this movement can often be called the water wheel. You'll find that sometimes your baby may end up weeing all over you, or sometimes even doing a number two. So nice scoops, a little bit of pressure. So once we've finished scoops, we're doing a little N. From your baby's right side, and it could be your left side, we're sticking your elbows out, and with 2 fingers, we go from the baby's bottom hip section, and we're going up to your invisible line. You take your hand off, and with your other finger, you're retracing. So you think of it as a little N. So up, release, retrace, across the invisible line, and then you taper off. You can do this a few times. Small intestines run right down to here, and at times it can be indigestion and food dislodge, and that really helps them. And kids, after they have this done, they usually end up going to the bathroom. It helps them dislodge any food or indigestion, constipation. So you have to make sure that your elbows are out, because otherwise you'll end up digging. Like if you're doing this, you may dig into their ribs, and it's very uncomfortable. So it's very important to have your elbows out. Up, taking off, retrace, across, and down. Think of it as a rainbow over your little one's section. So with the chest, we asked for the chest for permission. So in the beginning, we asked for the permission sequence. A little bit different this time. We don't ask the baby, we just put 2 hands above the baby's chest. This is quite an emotional area, so we're looking for cues here, and it's a very protective, very emotional area. So baby may be thinking about, do I want a chest massage? A lot of the times you'll have baby with 2 arms like this, holding on, then you should wait. Or if baby is already like having arms like flapping around, then you should stop. Then you'll end the massage. You don't continue on. But if you have sometimes a baby that's got one arm holding on to the parent's hand, and then one just on the ground, and we're thinking about it, if it's on the ground, it's not flapping, then we can continue. But if he starts waving it around, then often the case is that the baby doesn't want a chest massage, then you would discontinue. So you're looking for cues. Baby's like happy, baby's looking into your eyes, and the baby's not being distressed. So if we continue, we use both hands, starting from the top of the shoulders. We're going up around the shoulders, down the sides, back to the top of the invisible line, and tracing up to the middle of the chest. So up around the shoulders, down the sides of the baby, to the middle, and up again. So this is a butterfly. So the chest is always a very protective, emotional section, and it's common that babies don't want this massage, and if that is the case, then you stop. You don't want to force your baby to continue if they're not liking it. And you can try again in a couple of weeks or the following week to see if baby is willing to try it again. That completes the chest. So now we're starting the arms and hands demonstration. So making sure your baby's still in contact, put some oil to warm the area. And why do we put oil on? It reduces friction. So there's no pulling movement when we're moving skin and muscle. So similar to the leg, we're starting with an Indian massage, just away from the heart with a C cup. I'm starting from the top of the arms, right shoulders to the wrists. Nice firm movements, similar to the legs, going down to the wrist. And once you get to the top, the next hand continues. So make sure there's no gaps. We're doing nice firm movements. Tops of shoulders to the wrist. Once we finish that, we're doing rolling. So from the top of the shoulder down to the wrist. And again, we're supporting the arm. So baby's not flopping around. Rolling. Once we finish rolling, we're doing circles. Circles around the fleshy parts, tops of the shoulders, backs of the shoulders, tops of the arms. Never around the elbow, the bony section, that's really uncomfortable. Circles, and then we continue on circles with the wrist, supporting your baby's arm and hand. Nice big circles around the wrist. Once we've done circles, we're doing lines and tweaking. Similar to the legs, but we're actually incorporating the lines with the ending with a tweak. So tracing over the hand, on the top of the hand, we're going like this and then tweaking like this. With the hands, because it's such a small area, it's not as long as what we do with the legs. And we finish it off with Swedish. 3 strokes back to the heart from the wrist. 1, 2, 3. And then to finish that off, we're doing lymphatic drainage with a finger. For the whole of supporting your baby's arm, we're doing 3 scoops down, and this really helps with lymphatic drainage. 1, 2, 3. And that completes
face action.
We're doing the face now, so by this time, because we're getting towards the end of it, we would have used quite enough oil, so we don't need to put oil on the face. So starting with the eyebrows, we're going with the thumbs, middle of the eyebrows, and we're tracing it across like this. Just tracing across the eyebrows. I really love this. Babies really love a face massage. Supporting your baby, but just being careful with the fontanelles not to go across the area. Once we finish that, we're using your 2 little pinkies right to the corners of the eyes. This really helps with sinuses. So we're going down the nose, across the cheekbone, and ending it just where the ears are. So if your baby's got the sniffles, or baby's not feeling too well as a blocked nose, this is really good to release that tension in the sinus area. Once we've done that, we're doing tracing along lines across the mouths. So nice drawing mouths, like baby may have their mouth open or closed, but nice, releases tension around that area. So finish lines on the mouth. We're doing jaw circles, so just where the jawline is, nice big circles around the jawline. Once we've done that, we're doing tweaking on the ears. You can do one section at a time, or you can do it together. Some babies like doing it one ear at a time, or we can do it together. So we're doing having some pressure at the top of the ears, middle of the ear, and drawing out of the ear. So we're doing head massage, and we're just doing circles at the top, just nice circles around. A lot of mothers don't feel comfortable because babies, when they're young, up to 18 months, they have fontanelles which are not closed yet. So we can just avoid that, just doing it softly, not too hard. Really love stimulating that area. Babies really love it. Just light circles. So once we've finished the head circles, massaging the head, we finish off with an incorporation. So unlike the other ones where we started from the midsection of the baby, we're finishing it off from the top. So right from the top of your baby's head, we're going like this. Just to complete that baby knows that the head is all intact with the arms, the midsection and the legs. You only need to really do this once. Mums can't resist doing it more than once. We're doing the back massage now. So there are actually 4 different positionings that you can have your child. First one being your baby, and this is really good for tummy time. Babies like tummy time when they're ready to do so. This position, or you can have baby on over your legs, making sure that your legs are closed though, no gap, because it feels really uncomfortable if baby feels like there's a gap. So make sure your legs are closed. Supporting baby with one hand down the bottom, because you'll be massaging with one hand. So making sure that we've got full support. If you have an older child that prefer to sit in front of you and away from you, they can sit in front of you. And lastly, we can have the baby positioned over your shoulders with one hand supporting while you massage with the other. Sometimes you might want to lean back a little bit while you're doing that, just in case that baby is not fully supported. So leaning back a little bit with one hand supported while you're using the other one. So with the back massage, putting some oil on, just rubbing the area. And then with nice firm strokes, with your palms coming down, baby. Let's start from the top of the baby's, from the neck, right down to the bottom. Nice firm strokes down. Nice firm pressure. Making sure that we actually don't go back up the baby because we're going away from the heart. So it's least stimulating. And then we're doing circles down from the top, using like all your fingers. Nice circles down. And then we complete it with more strokes down, baby. Once we finish that, that actually completes the massage, and we usually finish the baby off with a stroke just to let them know that the massage is finished. So we say, this is how wide you are, and this is how long you are. And then with your hand placed on the base of the neck and on the bottom, just do a rocking motion and say, all done, so the baby knows that the massage is now finished. Earlier we mentioned about the alternative way of positioning your baby, and this is over the shoulders. And because you only have one hand, we're supporting the baby on the bottom. So with one hand supporting, we're going down with the strokes, just like this, base of the neck, right down, right to the bottom. Nice firm strokes. And then with the palms of our hands, we're doing circles, right down like that. Away from the spine, not the bony area, and we don't repeat going back up. It's too stimulating, so down like this. Finish it off by nice strokes back down, baby, again, to the bottom, and that completes. So once that's done, you let the baby know that it's finished, and you say, this is how wide you are, this is how long you are. And from the base of the neck, and supporting the bottom with a rocking movement, all done, just to let baby know that it's finished. We're doing the colic, wind and constipation. Unlike the normal massage where we're asking for permission, in this case baby is quite distressed and very uncomfortable. So we don't need to ask for permission, but instead we're asking for reassurance. So when at this stage baby is very stressed out and crying, putting your arms together and saying, it's okay, or anything that the parent thinks will, maybe tapping or stroking, just to say, baby, it's okay, that you're going to help them. So making sure the baby's in contact, and from the abdominal area where we found the imaginary line, from the last rib and coming across and working below the area. So working towards the side, and when you find your baby's last rib, it will be the section just below. Coming across and you're working below the imaginary line, because remember the diaphragm is this sensitive section at the top where baby's breathing. You don't want to put pressure because baby's already upset already. So put some oil on to warm the area, and we're starting with a scooping movement. So with your palms down, we're scooping from the imaginary line down with a bit of pressure to help baby with its constipation, wind and colic. And we do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you lift your baby's knees up, right up to this angle, and you hold for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you're bouncing the baby's legs down, and this is a relaxation technique. You're going relax, 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 back down. Once we've done this, we do the N. So we're going elbows out with 2 fingers from the hip. We're going up, away, retracing across. We're doing 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once we've done that, we bring the legs back up again to the angle, 9 degrees, and then we're holding for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're bouncing the legs down. Relax, relax, relax. You repeat that 3 times, and over a course of 4 weeks you can do it like twice a day. And with colic, wind and constipation, we don't know, especially with colic, what causes it, but we do know that it can be the same time during the day, either in the morning or the evening, and it's often associated with the baby's digestive system being it's still very immature. So if you can try that twice a day over a 4-week period, or whenever you think the baby needs it.